Hello and welcome to the Limitless Podcast. This is Deanna Heron, your host. I'm so glad that you are here today. This podcast is all about helping you to rewrite your stories, shatter those illusions to step fully into your personal power. And today's topic is really about creating a daily habit to build your confidence. Let's look into this. We are actually talking about emotional mastery. It's one of my favorite topics because, to be quite honest, most of us are not taught how to master our emotions. And this is really a very mature conversation that I'm going to talk about today. But it is one that will absolutely change your life and help you build confidence on a daily basis if you take the time to do this small little exercise each morning. It is something that I have learned to actually take control over my emotions. I don't know about you, but most women that I talk to, we wake up one morning, we're like, I'm so happy. Like, happiness is so good today. I feel like it's going to be an amazing day. And then the next day, we're like, who is this person that is so negative that woke up this morning? I don't even recognize her. And a lot of times, what happens in our lives is, particularly on those days when we aren't so happy, we wake up with this tornado of thoughts, this swirling of thoughts of what we have to do, all the tasks we have to do. We all know that we play so many different roles: the cook, the chef. I guess that's the same thing, cook and the chef, the cleaner, the mom, the wife, all of the things, right? And if you're a business owner, that adds on to the equation. So there are lots of different roles that we play. And so we wake up with this tornado of thoughts constantly. And that tornado of thoughts, my friend, it keeps you from actually being in your genius zone. Your genius zone is designed for you to be full of creativity, standing in your power completely. You are here to, first and foremost, empower yourself, but secondly, to make a difference in the world. And the only way that you can do that is when you have crystal clear clarity of where you're headed and capturing those thoughts. So let's dive into what this emotional mastery looks like. So, for the purpose of today, because emotional mastery is so deep, we are going to talk just about a daily ritual that you can do, a daily ritual of just self reflection. And that self reflection is going to pull you out of the survival mode that most of us wake up into each day. That survival mode, that tornado of thoughts, just going, all the things I have to do. And what does that cause within you? It causes an amazing amount of anxiety, right? Right from the get go. And we know how detrimental that can be. The anxiety leads to cortisol spikes, the whole thing. But the survival mode for us is where we go into immediately a strategy or fixing the problem with an external answer. And really, when we're looking for the strategy to fix the problem with an answer externally, we're really just putting a true band-aid on that anxiety. If we're talking about anxiety, you really want to look at, okay, what is this anxiety I'm feeling? So when you're thinking about your list for the day, one of the things that we do for if we're feeling anxious and we have those tornado of thoughts and we just, we can't seem to think straight, we want to tackle this by making a list. The making of the list is actually strategy and going into fix it mode. It's checking all the boxes, and which often leads us to complete exhaustion. And we do that over and over each day. I wake up, I do my to-do list, I check the boxes until all the boxes are checked, and then I rinse, repeat. But what's the real solution to this problem? The real solution to the problem is actually doing an internal inventory. And an internal inventory that you can do every day where you actually tap into the emotions that you are truly feeling. So you have an abundance of things to do which is causing anxiety, but we really want to dive into what the underlying feeling is. Okay. And so for me, I'm just going to give you a real life example. You start with a simple question. So the simple question that I ask myself is, excuse me, what is it that I'm anxious about? What am I worried about? So ask yourself that question. What am I anxious about? What am I worried about? Sometimes I don't wake up anxious. Sometimes I just wake up with different worries on my heart. If you have children, you can have worries about that. If you have a spouse, you can have worries about. There's all kinds of things that we can be, quote, worried about. So I love that question. What is it that I am truly worried about today? And then list them out. There may be more than one. There are some days where there is more than one thing that I'm worried about. So I list them out, and I may not have time to sit with all of them that day. So I may, sit with one or two and then save it so that I could process through that later. But you want to list them out, and then you want to be able to sit with it. So it's not just listing it out. Listing it out is the fixing, it's the strategy. But we want to go deeper. We want to go into the root cause. You've got to get them out to create more space for your genius zone. So what am I worried about? I am actually worried that I don't have enough time in my day. This is why I woke up anxious that day. I woke up extremely anxious that day. And so I sat with it and asked myself, what is it that I'm actually worried about? What is going on here? Okay, I'm actually worried that I don't have enough time in my day to get all of the things done. Do you ever feel like that? I'm sure you do. We all have times where, like, I just don't have enough time in my day. And without this reflection piece that I'm about to share, I would automatically go into the list making that temporarily gives me a little bit of relief, right? The list making gives us a little bit of relief because it's out of our head and onto paper. But putting the tasks on the list is the Band-Aid, because the energy, the fear of what I'm worried about, I'm worried I'm not going to have enough time in the day. That's a fear. I don't have enough time in the day to get all of this done. I don't have enough time. Making the list does not release the energy of the feeling. So we've got to dive into the feeling. This is why this is so important. This is why this is so important. So if I'm feeling like I don't have enough time, what is it that I really want? What is it that I really want? Well, obviously, I want more time. Please just give me more time. I just need more time. Can I have 26 hours today instead of 24 hours today? Well, we know that's impossible. But what we really want, what we really crave is, when I'm wanting more time, what is it that I really want? What is it that I really crave? And when I look into the emotion of that, I want to know that what I do is enough, because I never feel like what I do is enough. I want to know that I am enough. Can you see that? Going back down into the emotion. We feel like we don't have enough time because we don't feel like what we do is enough, which says, I don't feel like I am enough. That's what it says. And so we have to sit with that for a minute and really understand. So I want you to imagine sometimes when you're with your spouse, and this is something that Mark and I have worked through on numerous occasions. And I've shared this with you guys before. And when I come to him with a problem or a need or a desire, or maybe just to process my emotions, he will say to me, babe, do you want me to fix this, or do you want me to just listen? And the truth is, I want him to just listen and probably hold me most definitely hold me once I share whatever that issue is. It is the same with your emotions. Your go-to is to fix it, just like our husbands. And if you can imagine having a conversation with your husband and you're wanting him to listen to you and hold you, and he's just trying to give you the solution, the strategy on how to fix it, you don't feel heard. Your emotions are exactly the same way. They just want to be seen, heard, and held in that space. And so it's very simple. Man, I'm just feeling like I am not enough right now. Okay, I get it. I understand. That's tough. That's tough to feel like you've got all of this to do and you feel like you're not enough. I get it. I get it. And now this would be a great time to say, but look at all the things that you have done really, really well. Look at all the wins in your life. Look at all of the things that you are capable of doing and you have done in the past. You really are enough. You're enough just because you are here on this earth, divinely created. Whatever that is, that's an opportunity for you to talk back to that, but you have to hold it first. You have to acknowledge it and accept it first. That's the most important thing. And it's the answer to all of our concerns, all of our worries really is being present with our own love, present in acceptance of that feeling. And what most of us don't realize is that feeling is just asking to be held and heard. It's just asking to be held and heard. It's not asking for you to fix it. It just wants to be held and heard. Very, very simple. So as soon as you write down the concern, I'm going to tell you when you say, what am I worried about? What is bothering me? Whatever your question is, your mind wants to come up with strategy to this in the solution right away. And you have to remember, oh, this is the strategy, this is the solution. I actually have to dive deep and find the emotion behind it. What is the underlying feeling or emotion? Because our programming from childhood is that our needs are to be met in the outside world, which is a never-ending cycle. Because if your needs are always met in the outside world by making my to-do list, by crazy working through things, so I'm just so stressed out and just fall into bed at the end of the day, it's a never-ending cycle. We will repeat that cycle over and over, and we will never have relief from our fears, worries, and always looking for our needs to be met outside of us, like people's opinions, addictions like alcohol, binge eating, whatever it is, your go-to method. That's mostly how we deal with our emotions instead of accepting them. So in the example that I gave you of worrying that I don't have enough time, I was feeling like what I do is not enough. So I have to sit with my enoughness. I have to sit with that enoughness and knowing I hear you. I get it. Sometimes we don't feel like we are enough. Feel it. Then you can speak to it. When we get the opportunity for ourselves to be able to sit with that emotion, it's felt. It's felt. So it's not bubbling up inside you for days and months and years. You have to understand that we have a wide range of emotions. And this is something that is very, very misunderstood. So I want you to really understand this. Take note of what I'm about to say. We have such a wide range of emotions that we will experience on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes we experience all of them in one day. And that range of emotions can go from joy and peace and happiness and excitement. But there's also anger and sadness and despair. We have to learn to make space for all of our emotions to be felt, not trying to avoid the seemingly negative or bad emotions. That's what most people think. Oh, there's a negative emotion, a negative feeling coming up. I need to say an affirmation. No, we have to learn that we are here to experience all of the emotions. You have to sit with those, acknowledge those, hold those, recognize what it is. Because once you recognize it, once you hold it, no matter what the emotion is, eventually it'll have a tendency to go to sleep. It'll be on standby. You won't experience it as often. Now, I didn't say you won't experience it as often because that emotion feels safe. It feels seen. It feels heard. And so that allows for us to have more peace. It allows for us to have more peace. Peace is not felt. We don't experience peace because we no longer have sadness or anger. We experience peace because we've actually felt those emotions. We've actually sat with them instead of blocking them out or denying them. So sit with your emotions. Do this every single day. Every single day. Sit with them, acknowledge them, and ask yourselves the question, what am I concerned about right now? What am I worried about right now? What's the underlying feeling? Where is this feeling coming from? What is this feeling trying to tell me? And sit with it. It doesn't take very long to do it, but it will give you more peace throughout your day so that you can work in your genius zone. That's why you are here. You're here to master those emotions so that you can spend more time in your genius zone. I love you, my friend. I believe in you. Together, we are going to make a difference in this life by learning to master our emotions. God bless.